Hey guys, I'm back with another YouTube video. My previous video, you probably remember me saying something about, gee, I'd like to get another camera so I can do some more interesting shots and things like that and do some different video styles. So I don't have to hold on to the camera while I'm doing something. Well, I kind of got my wish. It was a little bit weird because that camera obviously heard me talking bad about it and then it crashed. And so then I missed a week of YouTubing because I didn't have a video. So, yeah. Well, I didn't have a camera. So now I have a camera, which is the one I'm using now. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It's just I've got to keep an eye on it and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. It's so different from the old one. I'm hoping the sound goes okay because I tried doing this video earlier from a different spot and the sound was atrocious because these toms here were making my voice sound like it was in an echo chamber, and I thought, no, people aren't going to want to listen to that. So hopefully this one comes out alright. Obviously, by the title of this video, if you're watching this, you're probably wanting to know, when am I gonna grow up? Here I am in my 20s. I thought I was gonna be an adult by now. What am I doing wrong? It's okay. It's alright. We kind of get lost in our day-to-days sometimes and feel like the world is just imposing on us in every way, and it's like we don't have any control over what's going on around us. Well, that's kind of why I got into journaling, was to help me get a better idea of what adulting is. And I didn't really have a video planned for today. Like, I don't have a script. I have no idea what I'm going to be telling you guys. It's just I wanted to put a video out because it's supposed to go out today. It's my regular schedule. And I was sitting here at the drum kit and I was thinking about my day today. It's been a serious adulting day. I have been doing so much, and thankfully I've had the journaling to help me out, because if I didn't, I would have been completely lost. And I wouldn't have had the phone numbers I needed. I wouldn't have had the dates to organize among people and say, no, I'm busy this day. No, I'm not busy that day. Oh, I've got all day I can spend with you then, doll, or whatever. You know, I had all the contacts I needed to pay bills, all that jazz. And it was just click, 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 click. Thing is, in what I call the before time, before I started journaling, a lot of that information just gone. I had no idea where it was or anything. And so for me, my personal definition of adulting includes journaling, which is why I've done some journaling videos. But there's so much more to it. You know, is when we look at a global definition, what we're really doing when we ask what adulting is, because when we're wondering, when are we going to grow up, we're actually asking, what is adulting, right? So technically we're asking a very philosophical question. Philosophical questions can get rather personal rather quickly. That I will warn you. So I'm not going to go into any real detail as to what adulting means to me personally. But what I will do is talk about the fallacy, because I did discover a fallacy. It is there. And I'm willing to say, I mean, knowing as much about various cultures around the world as I do, I'm willing to say that the majority of cultures around the globe have their own fallacy about adulthood, and it stems from a need for virtues. For many, many moons now, people have based their civilizations and their perspectives and their philosophies on ideals and virtues. What are virtues and ideals? Well, they are these concepts that cause people to continue to raise the bar of standard on whatever it is they're trying to achieve. So, ideals and virtues, you might not be able to reach them, and that's kind of part of the point, because it's supposed to be there to be the perfect example. So when we're talking about something like adulting, we're talking about something that definitely has its ideals. So is it having the laundry done on time? Is it having everything so organized, nothing ever goes missing? Is it having all the bills paid on time? Is it always having a paying job? Whoa. For each person, it's going to look a little bit different, because each person's requirements from one day to the next, those pressures that are placed upon us, expectations that are placed upon us as adults, are all going to be just a little bit different from one person to the next and from one day to the next. So at the end of it all, what is it really? Well, okay, the fallacy. The fallacy is that everything will be perfect. You will be so organized that nothing will get lost. And your children will never argue. And you'll always get along with everyone. And those people that you maybe don't get along with, if your culturing is not in line with you'll always get along with everyone, then maybe it's like a big case of those people that you don't get along with, you'll never say anything bad to and never say anything bad about. Yeah, okay. You can hear the tone in my voice. I don't even believe this stuff, okay? Sure, I used to believe that in adulthood everything would be perfect and everything would be laid out and it would all be so organized and magical and perfect. The only thing that's actually magical and perfect is the fact that I can make my own decisions. Whoop, whoop. So as long as I am like within the letter of the law and in general being nice, that kind of thing, it's all good. However, this freedom comes with a lot of responsibility, and this responsibility lies in managing yourself, and that's where self-discipline comes in. Self-discipline for me has been a big key pretty much my whole life. It's like ever since I can remember. I don't even remember the first time I started thinking about self-discipline, because even in kindergarten, self-discipline was something really important to me. So I'm sorry, it's just something that's always been there. But for most people, it's a really, really serious subject that takes a lot of energy and a lot of concentration. And sometimes civilization doesn't help, as adults, because we have all this freedom, we get distracted by a lot of things, and these things cause us to miss appointments, fail to take notes during meetings. Like, I've actually had people, this is so rude, by the way, it's just my personal thing here, okay? If I'm listening to you and I want to know what you're saying, I'm going to be taking notes. Don't tell me I'm not allowed to take notes, or you're going to see the dark side of me. So, these people in these meetings, they're like, oh, don't be writing while I'm talking. I'm like, excuse me, I think you're important enough to take notes on. You should be taking this as a compliment. And that's exactly what I'll tell them. And I'll tell them that in that tone. And okay, but how are you going to be listening if you're writing at the same time while I'm talking? And then I have to explain myself to them as though I feel like I should be explaining myself. Here I am, an adult, and I'm explaining myself to somebody. It's like, okay, yes, I have some attitude issues. But I go ahead and I humor them and I tell them that, yeah, okay, I'm the sort of person who can solve a Sudoku puzzle at the same time while listening to and singing my favorite song. Not everybody can do that. And when they see that I can talk to them while I'm writing just verbatim what they just got through saying, and then immediately follow that with, so you were talking about XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Could you please continue? They're like, oh, yeah, okay. And they're distracted. Okay, this is part of adulting. They're distracted because I'm sitting there, writing this stuff, and it's like, I don't know. When did note-taking stop? Did it ever really stop? Anyway, again, with adulthood, I'm getting distracted. Moral of the story is that the TV, the DVD player, the MP3, the YouTube channels that are around, you landed on this video because either you were distracted by the title or you were dedicated enough that you went searching specifically for something to help you out. And so you came here. These are the freedoms that we experience, or rather the effects of the freedoms that we experience. With this freedom, we just need to stay organized. That's been my big thing. Now, I'm not going to go into any real detail about what adulting means to me. Instead, I prefer to focus on the fallacy. Here's part of where the fallacy comes from. It's everyone's perspective. Now, I did this video here specifically, okay? I could have moved this video camera to anywhere in this room, but I left it here because I wanted you to see something very specific. You see this paint job here? Yeah, that's half done. Why is that half done? Why is this half done? Okay. It's easy. I have to take care of myself. My health comes first. Because if I don't take care of myself, I certainly can't be doing anything else. And I'm not going to be a benefit to anybody around me. So, that in mind, what does that have to do with this? Okay, well, technically, these things like paint and this soundproofing involve strong chemicals. This paint job here will remain unfinished because there's no point in finishing a paint job I'm not going to want. You see, I painted this quite some time ago and I liked the color, but then I realized shortly following that I needed soundproofing. That's what the blue stuff is. Mind you, the blue stuff isn't finished. Why? It's a personal choice. Because, number one, in some cases, I chose to spend my money in other places that I prioritized higher than soundproofing. In other cases, it was strictly my health. And this touches on what I mentioned earlier, taking care of me first. And that being part of my big adulting ideal. My health comes first. So, that said, this thing involves strong chemicals as well, because there's the adhesives and then there's what that stuff is actually made of. And it's a bit intense, so I only do a little bit at a time, so that way I can give this room time to air out. I can give myself time to kind of detox from it all as well, because I don't want to have any long-lasting health problems just because I came in here like a whirlwind and did all the soundproofing overnight. It takes weeks for one section to air out. So every little bit that I do takes that much longer to clear. And it's not that it's a set amount of toxin that goes into the air. It's actually according to how many sections I do. So like if I only do maybe, I don't know, a 2 meter square space, then that's not going to be nearly as long to air. That's not going to take nearly as long to air out and make this room clean for me to be in as, say, like an entire wall. If I do an entire wall, and I made this mistake before, if I do an entire wall, it's months before I can come in here. So this is a long time coming. And it's just a personal choice, you know. If I didn't mind being sick, yeah, okay, I could get it done overnight, and then other people could look at me and be judgmental. Okay, you'll find this out as an adult. People will say, oh, I'm not judgmental. Don't believe it. Okay, people are always judgmental. I haven't met one single person who wasn't. I've heard of saints who weren't, but I haven't actually met any saints. I'm probably not hanging out with the right crowd. Anyway, I haven't met personally anyone who wasn't judgmental. So somebody watching this video would see this half-painted wall, or would see this half-done blue section up here, and say that, what am I doing talking about adulting when I can't even manage that? But you know what? Haters are gonna hate. They don't know my story. They don't know that I didn't do this for personal reasons, for health reasons, because for me, adulting means taking care of my health, firstly. This is why it's philosophical, and this is why adulting gets so confusing, and why you can get lost in it all. Is because while you're trying to establish your own independence and your own life, you're also trying to establish what's actually important to you. There's a whole lot going on when you're trying to do this. So don't panic. It's okay. You'll figure it out. Just remember the fallacy and what it is, and try to identify what it looks like, and remember why it's there. That it is there to help people, to try and get us to improve and become better individuals, more helpful, more organized, and as I say, it's very vague, and it's because it is philosophical. So I sincerely hope this has been helpful. And after today, all the stuff that I had to organize, my head is still a little bit spinning, which is another reason why I'm here at the kit, is because playing the drums helps clear my head. It clears out a lot of nonsense. I can feel all of my brain cells just sort of cleansing. It feels really good. So hopefully you have something that helps you in that same manner. And hang in there. You can do this. You've got this. You've got this. Cheers.